Thank you for watching News Echoes. My name is Shegun Johnson, and I'm glad you are watching. Today, we've got so many things to discuss for you and with you. Please feel free to write in on any of the matters we present to you. You have a right to agree with us or disagree with us. In fact, when you disagree with us, we will take it on board and we'll want to hear from other people whether they will agree with you. So is a good thing. We're going to discuss a lot of things today. We're starting with the apartheid, or should we call it racist attitude in Europe, and we'll look into that and some other issues emanating from Africa. I have in the studio with me our in-house researcher, Ambassador Nat Yako. Ambassador Nat, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much and good morning.
We also have in Milan our own man analyst, Mark Godwin. Mark, you're welcome to the program.
Good morning, Dr. Shagun. Thank you. Thank you.
Uh, Many of us have seen the discrimination that went on when the Russia-Ukraine war started, and Nigerians and Africans, indeed, wanting to escape the war, got to the border posts and they were denied entry. They got to the train where they would take into another country, they were denied. Then the few students started shouting and protesting. It was a disgraceful thing. It was a show of shame. And Africans are still wondering why they are useful in all the departments of this world, including medicine, engineering, computer. But when it comes to safety and security and good pleasure, they are being denied. But let's hear intensively what has happened at the borders of Poland and Romania. Let me call on Mark from Milan. Mark in Milan, what have you?
Yes, what we are seeing is a very sad situation. Humanity is still not showing love to their fellow human. In a statement last Monday, a group of media press people gathered to say that there is strong discrimination going on relating to the Ukraine Russia war. Now, we know at the beginning, like you just said, Dr. Shagun, there was that discrimination at the border, even with the inside Ukraine. The Ukrainians were not allowing Africans to have free access to means of moving out. Some borders were closed against them. And now the situation now is some European countries are not ready to take in Africans. UK is also in the list. They are not ready. They are freely taking other nationals, other race. But the black people, the Africans are being rejected for immigration status in other Europe
What
countries.
would be the reason for this? Will it be because of the color of their skin or what?
Straight up, Dr. Shago, that's what it is. They don't want to give these black people the same privileges that the white people have, and it's not going well because everybody was caught up in that situation. So everybody should be treated as a refugee and be helped in similar way.
Circumstance.
Yes, circumstance. So this is what we are seeing. Thousands of Africans, mostly students, are still stuck as they flee from the Russian invasion on Ukraine. And in fact, the
In
numbers
fact,
are
there
still.
is a video. There is a video going viral right now. A kind of official from Poland swearing that they will never take in one Muslim, not one Muslim. They've taken 2 million Ukrainians, white collar, but not one Muslim, and he was boastful about it. And you wonder why someone like that would be boastful on a national television, not wanting to take even one Muslim, and he was getting away with it. But
Yeah,
let's mm,
that's the extreme party in Poland, and that's a politician. Yes, the video went viral. It's sad that they still reason like this. At a point in this time, when this kind of situation happens, people should just be there to help their fellow human. But we are seeing the reverse in this case.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Ambassador Nat, it was our man who said, I dream when the character of my children will be the only reason for judging them and not the color of their skin. And we thought his dream came to pass when Obama became the president of America 2 times for 8 years, when the color of his skin did not matter. It still appears that some people still think the African color skin is primitive and pedestrian and should not be given the same equality. Why does this still persist in the minds of some Westerners?
Well, thank you very much. Again, we really shouldn't be too surprised or taken aback with the behavior of some of these um, European countries in relationship with with the blacks. It's very subtle, and even after the abolition of slave trade, slave trade did not stop. It's still on. Not even to talk
Slavery did not stop.
yeah, slave trade didn't stop. Slavery is still on. Human trafficking is still on. You see, but when you see even in Ukraine the way they are relating with the blacks, it tells us that this thing has been on all along. It is just now that is being exhibited publicly. They take your money, but they don't want to see your skin, the color of your skin, because this is what's happening. The the African students are paying heavily to get educated in Ukraine, especially in medicine and the sciences and in IT. So and and you know historically Poland has been a very racist country. Start even from the Jews. Remember how Jews were killed. Racism is everywhere. It's like we just have to live with racism. But whatever your color, the black
Mm.
person has distinguished himself not
Yes,
only in the 21st century backwards, all 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 fields of human endeavor, the black man has distinguished himself.
I
And
think that nobody will controvert that right
yes,
now because
yes.
of where with the statistics and the facts and figures. And I think, correct me if you don't agree with me, I think is that they don't want to take in the black immigrants so that they don't mix with their girls and eventually get married or get mixed race children. Is that the race they are running now? That they don't want to mix race children because their girls would definitely mingle with the African men and they will produce mixed race. In London right now, 1 out of every 2 children born is mixed race.
Yeah, I would have thought it's more of um, job opportunities. The black man is ready to take on any job, and the white man will discriminate against them. The in Ukraine, even in these circumstances where uh, Ukrainians had to leave Ukraine to other European countries, if a black or even let a black is married to a Ukrainian white lady, they had
Mm.
easy access. So the black man who is married to a Ukrainian, let's say white person, is treated differently from other black people.
Yeah,
So
but tell me, why do the European girls love the African men? They don't mind marrying them. They don't mind sleeping with them and bearing children for them. But why do the older Europeans hate the skin of the African man? That their children don't particularly see that way. Uh, that's why they are marrying one another and having children all over the place.
Yeah, because that is the way they were brought up. Their socialization was anything black, throw away. These are some of the things that are coming up. In 30 years ago, or even less, for even a black man to get an apartment to rent was a problem, and they will have to. This like they condition your movement when your lights should be off, how much water you can use. So you see, but things started changing gradually. The society started opening up to some level. You could marry a white lady, you could share an apartment with them, and so but these are some things that we think will change, but are not changing maybe as quickly
Okay,
as we want.
okay. Let me welcome Dr. Osita Animeka. Dr. Osita, you're welcome. I want to ensure that the volume, the audio is working. Dr. Osita, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. I've been having very terrible connectivity.
Yeah, but you are
Government
sounding good right
tossed my
now.
line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or is it
Government tossed
because
my line yesterday, so I cannot double check. I'm sorry.
or are you trying to marry a
Yes.
white girl? That's where your problem lies.
Well, no, I'm not. I've not considered it. My son
Now,
did,
Dr.
so
Osita. On a serious note, you have
we
traveled
already
far
have one
and
in the
wide.
family.
What do you say to the discrimination against the black folks, even when they have distinguished themselves in all human endeavors, medicine, engineering, jurisprudence, agriculture, and yet when it comes to pleasure and mingling, even during war, they're still discriminated during war. They can die if the enemies catch up with them, and so we're just wondering, what is it again that they want the black man to do before he's admitted into their social sphere of pleasure? Dr. Sita, are you still having problems and challenges? Well,
I think the
whenever
problem is scare. The world
what
is
kind
scared
of
of the
scare
black race.
or scare? Why should they be scared? Wow. They're having challenges there. I would have loved to hear his situation. Yes, Mark, he said they're
Uh,
scared of
yeah,
Africans.
yes. But like Dr. Ambassador Nat put it so well, the problem is the older Europeans, white people. They still have
Mm,
that archaic mentality of thinking the black man is lesser. So
mm,
this is what is happening. But the newer set of white people are not thinking like that again. And like you've said,
mm,
their ladies are ready to mingle. In fact, there's a new ideology that the merging of the black and the white brings
mm.
a superhuman being. You know,
Yeah.
yes, that's what they say. So they do everything to want a black man so that they can produce babies that will be superhuman. But the
Do you
older
know that the
one,
Brexit was premised on this prejudice against foreigners? The Brexit that happened in United Kingdom. Most
yes,
of those who voted were the elderlies, and they said, "Look, let's get rid of all these foreigners." And so they voted without even thinking about it,
about
and
it.
nobody saw a war coming. This Ukrainian-Russian war, which has become a third world war,
Mm.
because third world war, not because we are bombing one another, but economic war. The
Yeah,
Russians are refusing dollars. They say they will take rubles for their oil and energy. So we now have a challenge where it is a third world war. Nigeria is feeling it as we speak.
yes.
Ambassador Nat, so how do we how do we get out of these conundrum?
Well, again, first and foremost, we have seen where the black race has proved his potentiality, has proved his worth uh,
Mm,
by doing the best things you can do in the world when it comes to science and technology, IT, name it, any endeavor, any discipline. The black man is there. NASA in the US,
mm,
there are black men there, and even this issue of the invention or production of vaccine. Pfizer, this is a black man who championed their production of vaccines and other medicines. And so again, we should also be seeing, because again, at the same time, we have some of our sisters and brothers portraying a very us in bad light by doing the wrong things, and they do these wrong things excellently. Hush puppy, hush puppy hush puppy is an example.
mm.
Just swindling Americans of their dollars.
And how he managed to deceive the brilliant ones or something else.
Yeah, yeah. So
Mm.
we should
Well,
just
I think we'll just end up this part of it with a word of advice. Dr. Sita, what will you
Yes, sir.
advise uh, dark skinned men and women? I have one advice for Africans in this dark skin that racism is all about intimidation. Don't allow anybody to intimidate you. And
Absolutely.
yes, you must
Absolutely.
know your worth. Racism wants to devaluate you. You are now going to evaluate yourself, and not. You don't give a hoot if you want to work. But let me ask Dr. Sita, what else will you add to the African man?
Okay, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. My
Mm,
boss, my boss in the state of Maryland, a place called
mm,
Salisbury. I was
mm,
leaving work one evening and she called me in and said, Usida, what is Epiphany? I said,
mm,
Revelation.
mm,
He said, you're kidding me, right? I said, no, Epiphany is revelation. He said,
mm.
and so how did you know that? I said, because that is what it is. And he said, you didn't have to think about it. I said, no, because I know it. He said, well, how
Mm,
do you guys know all these things? So I said to her, because we like to know.
mhm,
So we go to find out. Now, what that, she wasn't testing me. She had a problem, really. That was the
mm,
truth. She saw a very strange word, epiphany. She didn't know what it was. And she
mm.
just raised up her head and saw me walking through and said, Sister, what is epiphany? I said, revelation. And I kept walking and she called me back. The fact is that scares them so much that they can do anything to avoid you because we
Wow.
rubbish them.
Mm.
No, I'm being very honest with you. We
Okay,
rubbish
let,
them.
let me
We
give you a
rubbish them.
similar one to what you just said. I was trying to open an account for our church here in London, and at the Santander, that's what they were called at that time. We opened this account and we said a Christian church, and the lady at the counter, white girl, wrote Christ AIN, and I said that's not the spelling of Christian. He said, excuse me, this is Christian, Christiain. And I said, no, it is Christian. She said, no. And she looked like, do you think I'm stupid? You think I don't know the spelling of Christian? And I insisted. I said, no, don't open the account on AIN, but open it on IAN.
That
And
is my name. Yes.
and then she took up a dictionary right there and then and check and find that Christian ends with IAN. And she looked at me like, excuse me, you serious? She asked me, how did
Absolutely.
you know that it's not
Yes.
AIN but IAN?
Yes.
I said, it's very simple. I said, let me tell you the trick. It's very simple. A Christian without Christ, what it remains is IAN. I am nothing. So always
Yes.
remember that. And she looked at, of
Amazing.
course, I just put it inside of her spirit, man. You are nothing without the Christ. And so she
Yes.
quietly wrote Christ IAN. She will never forget the spelling of
Oh,
Christian.
absolutely. 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 It's about intimidation.
Yeah.
It's about scared. They're very scared. And also it's
Mm,
about uncertainties. They don't
yeah.
understand how we roll. So that makes it very difficult for them to deal with us. Very difficult.
Yeah.
And
I
because they
think we just
cannot,
Yeah, we you see, you cannot do anything who is racist. You cannot do anything about it, but you can do something about yourself to know your value and hold up your value at any given situation. So
yes,
it's
sir.
just even in the Bible, Joseph was discriminated as the next to Pharaoh. They refused to sit down with him. The Egyptians refused to sit down with him and eat, but he held his own place. So once you are good like Joseph and they want to demean you, devalue you, you hold your place and simply enjoy the rest of your life. It doesn't matter. You know your worth,
Yes.
stand by your worth. So don't let us come back to this topic. Every
That's
person, every black man should hold up his worth. If your worth is below measure, go out and improve yourself. Simple. And when they discriminate, God will elevate you. Don't worry. Well, we have to move on.
absolutely.
Dr. Osi, you are in Abuja, and the next item on our agenda today is the failure of a general in Abuja. This general was ridiculed throughout the social media in the last 7 days. They say there is a comedian in the presidential seat in Ukraine, and in his country, he became a general. But in Nigeria, there is a general who became the president and he became a comedian. And this went viral, and they were joking about the president of Nigeria that he became a comedian, that all the things he's supposed to know and do about the work of a president, he either does not know, has no clue, or doesn't even know what to do, and he will only assure. And the joke was on. Nobody will ever imagine President Muhammadu Buhari will become a joke in the whole wide world, that a foreign university brought out his name as one of the failed leaders of our time. Osita, how devastating is this?
It is. Locally here, we're having issues with it. For some people, it is a joke. For some people like me, it's a very serious issue. For two reasons, Dr. Johnson, for two reasons. This man was 10 years head of state in uniform,
Mm,
same country, same country. And then he came back and wanted to return to power. And for very many years, he failed to get it
mm,
until people became emotional. For him, he knew he didn't qualify. So if he could run, if he could get the ticket to run and eventually win, it was a joke. Do you blame
mm,
him? And then he took the joke too far.
mm,
Now, what we are looking at is like a child who doesn't know what to do and is given an opportunity to do something and he laughs about it. That's what we get all the time. That's what we get all the time. Even when he was trying to introduce some gubernatorial candidates and whatever, he made mistake about it, and everybody laughed. But we put him there because some of
yeah.
our seniors, some of our elder statesmen said to us that even if he doesn't have qualification, even if he brings a cement paper, that he was better than
Mm.
Jonathan. That was the
You
beginning.
see?
That
Yeah,
was the
I
beginning.
remember.
Yes, that was the beginning. So when he had that coming from top echelon Nigerians, oh, he said to him, so this joke is even real, and he's playing along all this while, because no matter what he does, those people who are
Mm.
hailing him must see a way to explain all the mistakes he makes.
So it's the personal ambition of people like Tinubu, who was making jest that the French calling Charles de Gaulle, this calling the general, and so let us call in our own general. Now, the personal ambition of Tinubu was to eventually become the president of Nigeria, and he went all out to bend down, to break all protocols. He became the friend of Obasanjo, who refused to give Lagos State money, his subvention, while he, Shiwaju, was the governor of Lagos State. He decided to befriend him. Then he went all out to get uh, Buhari elected at the primary level and at the federal level. And now all of those things were done because of the personal ambition of Tinubu, who said, "It is my life ambition to be the president of Nigeria." Whether to do anything good for Nigeria has never been on the ground. So if Buhari can spend 8 years not doing anything on the ground, as long as he hand over power to him, which is his own life ambition, not to straighten Nigeria out, but just to be the president of Nigeria. So he had to sell Buhari to the rest of the country, and they bought it hook, line, and sinker with one Ankara and 400 naira. And now the same Buhari, nobody wants to associate with him. He had to cancel his, I mean, Ashiwaju had to cancel his colloquium last week or so because the man we put there is not performing. But all in the name of these proverbial 12 million votes. Nigerians have lost thousands, tens of thousands of lives, tens of thousands of foreign investment, and is still a butt of the joke all over the world that universities are now using his name as a failed president. Ambassador Nat, to what extent will you agree that Buhari has become the butt of the joke all over the world as a failed president?
Well, I think right from the onset, some individuals knew that Buhari would be a failed president in a failed state. And because people who knew Buhari, even when he was in military uniform, they knew that Idi Agma was the one calling the shots. Idi Agma was doing the dirty job, and Buhari was claiming the praise, the accolade. But when it was not an opportunity for him to come in as a civilian, it's like a fish out of water. Because
Mm,
in most cases, when Buhari is talking, he's making reference to how he did it when he was in the military, when he was a general, when he was the military head of state. He said the judges, he didn't have to deal with judges, he didn't have to do with legislatures in the National Assembly. So this is the real man that we are seeing, and he keeps telling the whole world that there should be fair in judging him. He has been the best president Nigeria will ever have, and maybe we can never have any better president like Buhari after 2023. So
well,
when you see an individual blowing his own trumpet so loudly, then you
mm.
know he's a loud failure.
Well, I woke up this morning and I looked up into my mobile phone. The first image I saw was the picture of Buhari with 419 days to go. 419 boldly written there. 419 days to go. So, for those of you who are wondering how many months he still has to do, well, this according to social media, he has 419 days to go. That is roughly likely to be true. So we have a 419 president with 419 to go. Who is a 419 president? The one that is not fit to hold the purpose, not fit for purpose. It's not only when you do Yahoo Yahoo, but when you refuse to do the job you have been asked to do, you applied to do, then you become 419, not fit to rule. And if those people could die in that train, and we are not yet sure of who entered that train, that Kaduna Abuja train officially, when some people were stealing to get inside, and many eminent people have died. Then you become a 419 president. And it's not me saying it, it is the social media saying it. It's a disgrace. I think President Buhari is a disgrace to all the other presidents who ever held that in. And we need to tell him if he wants to resign, let him resign. Is whoever knows him should tell him that people see him as a disgrace. Not even me. I'm not the one saying so. I think it's the universities across the globe using his name. We'll just leave it at that and go on break. And when we return, we want to discuss why are Nigerians not reacting to the failed state. We want to look at the Lekki toll gate, the Ikoyi toll gate, the Ibadan protests that happened yesterday. Why are Nigerians not responding to all these evils happening around them? Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Schengen Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. Though articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. Get Schengen Story magazine's full editions. Celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better, the inside story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle. Inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment, a better mind.
Welcome to Ciliate Farms. In Ciliate Farms, we actually engage in growing live cat species at different sizes, from the fingerlings up to the size of maturity. Feel free to explore Ciliate Farms whenever you're in Abuja, as we are located in Kubwa and we sell at affordable prices. Thank you very much.
When I wrote the book, The Final Solution, the Lord gave me some things in the spirit realm to see going to happen here. And that is why you need to get a copy of this book, not because of the purchase, but because of the contents. We've not spent 2 weeks. Now we have seen the problem in Ukraine, Russia, and Belarus, Donetsk, Luhansk, and all the other surrounding nations, talk less of the Western countries and the Eastern countries. We want to pray that this stops where it is. Some people are even imagining a third world war. I pray that there'll be no third world war. But we need to know the solution to all of these problems, and they are well packaged in that book, The Final Solution. The amount of money is next to nothing. Go to Amazon and buy this book. Go to the Kindle, go to KDP and buy this book. It's very important. So it is in Amazon and Kindle. And of course you can purchase the paperback, but it's not about the money. It's about the contents to have solution to Ukraine, to Russia, to the West, to the East, and indeed all parts of the world. Do get a copy and let's start operating the solution of God to our time. Thanks for staying with us. It's the News Echoes. In the last few days, we saw a mosque imam in Abuja. His name, Imam Muhammadu Nuru Kadir, and he spoke against the federal government for lacking integrity and for Buhari having failed. And this man was suspended immediately. Thereafter, he said he was being judged for being righteous, and then he was sacked completely. Ambassador Nat, will you please quickly bring us up to that story?
Okay, thank you very much. And the Imam Nuru of the Apo Legislative Quarters Mosque, he's gained some world recognition now by his being sacked for telling the truth and nothing but the truth. I understand he's got a better appointment in a more 21st century mosque, but that's by the way. What he said has been said by many people, but he was saying it from a vantage position. He started by saying we have all failed. He has failed. Members of his mosque have failed. The governance in Nigeria has failed. And he went on to say Buhari, the president, has failed, even as we have been told in the last segment. We have a failed state and a failed president. He did not only stop there. He said God was going to judge leaders based upon their performance, because it's a trust given to each of individuals. It's a golden opportunity, and when you misuse it, you have misused it, and you are going to you face the consequences. And joined with him almost the same last week. GO of RCCG, Papa Adegboye, said the same thing along the same line. And Kaigama, too, the Catholic bishop in Abuja, said the same thing. And then followed by Sultan, the Sultan of Sokoto, came out to say that no, even God is going to judge leaders that are not morally obligated. They have thrown all caution to the wind. That their people are in hell on earth, and that Allah is not going to take kindly to that. Those individuals should be ready to face the consequences.
Okay, thank you. Let's ask the man in the scene, Dr. Osi. You are there. What is the temperature or the barometer measure with all of these
Yeah.
coming on the most revered general in 2015, the one who could not be touched, the one whose body language make the refinery in Port Harcourt working? How is it taking it, or how are the people in Abuja taking it?
When they started their campaign in 2015, I was in Kaduna just by chance. There was this very long bus. It's the luxury bus. So I saw the president, then contestant holding a broom. There's this vent on top of the roof that you can put your head out. And
Yeah.
then right behind him, right behind on the other vent, was a smaller head. So I asked my driver, I said, is Buhari contesting, with his son? No, my driver said, no, 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 sir, that is El Rufai. I said, is that El? Because I didn't know him. I just came back to the joke then. But this morning, the same El Rufai said, we must get governance right in 2023. You know what that means?
Who are these we?
Governance now is wrong. Yes, governance now is wrong. The same El who has been doing everything. So it is not just the man that is speaking, not just the Sultan, not just GO. Everybody is saying the same thing because the country has gone south under one man's watch. And this is the same man who will not give them audience in executive council meetings. You go personally to advise him. He keeps you waiting for the whole day, and you go home angry. So you are looking at a one-man army who does everything wrong but stubborn to listen. Nigeria of
Okay.
210 million people does not deserve this kind of man.
Let me ask you one
And that is
question. Why are we not having a mass protest? A mass protest does not mean that is a coup, is democratic. Is it because the 200 million Nigerians do not understand what democracy is? If you don't like your leader, he can resign, he can be impeached, he can be made to leave compulsory. All these three, they are there for democratic means. Why are the 200 million Nigerians
um,
keeping quiet?
yeah, sir, it's a mindset. It's a mindset. I live in Nigeria. I live right here. The issue here now is that, okay, even as a political scientist yourself, you know what poverty does to people. They impoverish you so badly that you are scared of where you're going to get the next meal. So for those
Mm.
few who already have food to eat, they want to stay there proudly showing you that they have food to eat. So anything that destroys or shakes that, they don't want. So for those poor people who cannot find food to eat, they cannot walk the streets. Those people who can walk the streets are proud to show you that, oh, you don't have food to eat, but I have food to eat and I can do whatever I like. We're a docile nation.
Well,
We
could it
are
be
we
that
are
those who want to be the next president, could it be they are the ones shushing the rest of the community? It's like, keep quiet, it will soon go, keep quiet, because of their own political ambition. There are at least 26 people who have come out to say they want to be the next president of Nigeria in APC and PDP, talk less of that of other minor parties. So that group is like, keep quiet. At least the Tinubu group, they are saying, keep quiet, just let me be there. Keep quiet, just let me be. Is that what has kept the lead on the
but
pop?
you said it yourself to us because of his personal ambition.
Yeah.
Tinubu did this to us 7 years ago. So it's the same story. Everybody who has a personal ambition will want to nurse it. And in nursing it, it doesn't matter whose ox is God. Everybody is selfish, and it's a terrible thing that in my own time, in my country, I have
Mm.
my brethren on front country are selfish people. It's a very certain because
Yeah.
that is what's killing this country. Everybody has a self-interest. Everybody. So anybody who wants to become, as a matter of fact, it's not just becoming president. Some people are hoping that they become commissioners, they become ministers. So nobody wants
Yes.
to do anything. They just want to play
They don't want
around
to rock.
so that when
They
the
don't
time
want
comes,
to rock
they
the
go to
boat,
their money.
but the boat is sinking.
Yes, it's about stealing. Yes,
Okay.
and it's about
There are
stealing,
some,
just stealing.
there are some spectacular
Nobody's
things.
talking about.
Thank you, Dr. Osi. There are some spectacular things that happened in the last 1 week. Yaya Bello brought in a group of people, including professors, analysts, into Abuja in a closed room, and they discussed. One of the things that came out, it was Hafsat Abiola, the daughter of MKO Abiola, being the director general of Yaya Bello's campaign. It is noteworthy that Yaya Bello is a member of the APC that we are told has zone presidency to the south, but his own state is in northwest. However, he decided to go ahead and present himself for presidency, and he had this woman, Hafsat Abiola, as his DG campaign, and she came on air to say that Yaya Bello should be voted for because it's like MKO in several ways. And she started mentioning it. Yaya Bello has no political godfather, and so MKO Abiola had no political godfather. People voted for MKO because of his wit, and Yaya Bello is also intelligent, vote for him. And one of his MKO's daughters also said, "You don't compare my dad with Yaya Bello. Yaya Bello did not pay the civil servants for 14 months. Yaya Bello did not improve the infrastructure of Kogi State for several years. Yaya Bello's reputation is very low, even within Kogi State. Yaya Bello's Kogi State never invited one investor and to international investor. How dare you compare my father to Yaya Bello? Nat, so what is the outcome of this sibling war?
Well, the sibling war had just started. We don't know when it will end. But it's a paradox. It's more of an anathema that children of the same father, the Abiola dynasty, are daggers drawn now at each
Mm.
other because of one man called Yahaya Bello. Incidentally, Kogi State is in the north central geopolitical zone, not northwest. So,
Okay, okay.
the, the, it's more of a drama as the events unfold. I think Yahya Bello is the loser, uh, great time, big time,
Mm.
because what Tundu said about Yahya Bello and wanting to be president of Nigeria, I think some of his followers Abele will just go home and nurse their wounds because the man has already lost. The presidential ticket is zoned to the south, but you are in the north central and you want to contest. You gathered people in Eagle Square. And in fact, there were more people at Yahya Bello's rally than APC rally. And,
Spending Kogi subvention, innit?
yeah, using the taxpayers' money of Kogi State, where there is armed robbery, ritual killings, so many things wrong with the state and wrong with the governor. And so I think it was not good campaign for, I mean, good publicity for Yahya Bello. But
OC,
we will see how the Abiola family will sort themselves out.
he has caused a problem within that family now. Now,
Yeah.
OC, you are in Abuja, and we outside of that area, and Kogi State happens to be one of the close border states to Abuja. We outside of that border, we see Kogi State as a huge joke, and Yaya Bello as a clown because he rigged the second term election. I mean, it was blatant rigging, but in a country where you cannot oppose effectively. And they came out, the beautiful women of Kogi State, they came out to sing a song that has gone viral, especially in the United Kingdom. You know the song? Ta 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 ta. Yaya Bello has won. Ta 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 ta. That is, he won when they shot and everybody ran away, and so he won. So all over London, I can assure you, we know that song. Ta 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 ta. So we see Yaya Bello as someone who won by the barrel of gun and not by the barrel of votes. How do you copy there in Abuja?
Thank you. This touches me so badly because Hafsat is my friend, and it hurts. Really,
Oh, oh,
it
that's good to
hurts.
know. At least we know someone who knows that. Please tell us more.
It hurts very badly. Well, I can't get personal, on air, but the fact
Yeah,
is that
yeah, fair enough.
I'm telling my circle of friends and family, I am yet to understand what happened. Because there is no
Mm,
way I can see. Because Nick, her husband, Costello, will be feeling the way I feel now. He doesn't like dirt because God doesn't like
mm,
ugly. Whatever
mm.
it is that has happened, whatever it is that has brought
The
us to this point,
president has
because
been held.
if at this point she never said anything, if at this point she never said anything, and it is just what we might call speculations, then it's a different story. But the fact that she had even made public statements on what is going on, hurts more. It hurts more because she has not indicated the things that we know her for. Come on now. When I worked for you, said she was my prime point of liaison for Ogun State. And I used to
Okay.
go there and yeah, we sit in the office of commissioners and whatever, talking about what will make the difference in Nigeria.
Mm.
So for my dear friend to see Yahya Bello as somebody who will make a difference in Nigeria hurts so badly. And that is okay. Let me give you one instance. A
Please do.
man prepared to launch his campaign, paid so
Mm.
much money to bring people to the stadium, could not remember the wife's name. Come on.
Maybe there are too many.
Come
Maybe
on.
there are too many. Which one should I call the third one? Which one is it?
Just 3 wives. Just 3 wives. And we're 210 million people. 3 wives. He didn't remember the name of the last wife.
No.
Somebody
Tita,
in
you are
the
not
crowd.
getting.
No.
Hold it. He
I will
has
send it to you.
many women. He does not know which one to be in the third position.
Yes, that is because of recalcitrant conduct. Because he didn't know whether it was Hadiza that came. We're saying the same thing. He has 3 legal wives, but he wasn't sure. He wasn't sure whether it was Hadiza that came or not. So somebody now said to him Hadiza, and he echoed the name Hadiza. So it will have been Miriam. It will have been
that's the point. That's the
Asabe
point.
or whatever it is.
Asabe or whatever.
What we are saying is that it is the same lack of preparedness that makes Kogi State, Lokoja, which is now a transit city, the worst city in Nigeria. The same lack of preparedness.
Mark in Milan. How did you see the presidency of Yahaya Bello? How it's taking off with Hafsat and Adisa and whatever? I mean, how do you see that?
Let me say that that Yahaya Bello is coming out to even make any utterance towards presidential election. He should be ashamed of himself. Now we're talking of a state where the civil servant and so many classification of workers have not been paid for months now. Teachers have not been paid now, and nobody's addressing that. Also, take note that EFCC found out some money stuck somewhere that was supposed to be used for running the government, and somebody somewhere kept it. Now, too many conspiracies, too many stories coming out from that state. And the man is neglecting all these stories and talking of wanting to be president. If you look at him very well, he's timid. He's a timid man, even though he seems to be intelligent. But he's timid because he has his reasoning and his ways of doing things shows that he's not conforming to the life we live now. He has a way of reasoning. So also take note that Abiola's daughter was a small girl when the father was running. She doesn't really know the father. So to compare Yahaya Bello with the father is very, very downgrading. Abiola was a man of repute, a dynamic man, and Yahaya Bello doesn't even stand close to an inch where Abiola stands.
But Yahaya Bello has made a smart one using Hafsat's name, and it has gone viral, and that's what he wanted. Don't you think he had been smart enough to use Abiola's daughter
Yes,
automatically?
it has gone viral, but there are other siblings now saying she's not speaking on behalf of the family. So, and that's a more damage to her own reputation than speaking for Yahaya Bello. So,
but there's only one sibling that is cobbling, and we don't know what others will say. We need to hear from the family, isn't it? I mean, an official statement from the family. Tundun is just one person. Do we know what the rest of the family is saying?
We might not get an official statement from the family. We might not, because they don't see it, they see it as a ransom of an ant. They don't want to take issues with it. They will not want to take it.
And after said she never took money. She said she didn't take any money from Yahaya Bello.
Whatever the story is, it's just unfortunate that I am the one talking about it. I am the one making this statement about it because I am talking about my friend. It hurts. It hurts very badly.
Okay, give our love to Hafsat. We shall be watching. We shall be watching, and we shall be discussing. Well, we don't expect Yahaya Bello to go very far within the primaries of APC.
No, he is going. He is going nowhere. He started by wearing what's it called, the Igbo traditional dress. He wore that for 1 whole month. Was shooting photographs all over the place, with it. But the truth was that he played him as childish. You are from North Central. You go into a zone where the presidency would have been zoned to, and picked up the address. What kind of statement is that? that you have become Igbo. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
That's why I
He's a
use the
joker.
word
The man
timid.
is,
Yes, he's a joker. That's you
Um,
see that he does.
you see, before you know it, 1 hour is just gone, and I'm going to give you a minute each, starting from Mark in Milan. What advice will you give Nigerians as we look at many of the jesters coming out as presidential candidates? What advice will you give Nigerians to how to handle this situation?
Well, it's a strong one. But even though this election is sketchy, we hope the election holds. But Nigerians it's time for Nigerians to really open their eyes. The slang we use in Lagos back in the days is shine your eye and pick
Mm,
incredible leader. Shine your
okay. Ambassador Nat, what will you say?
Well, I will be thinking of what ideas do you have to improve Nigerian standing, especially as from 2023.
Do you notice that nobody has given us any manifesto, any credible manifesto? Their ambition is to get the power. Dr. Osita and Emeka in Abuja, what advice will you tell your fellow countrymen towards 2023 elections?
I think there's a need.
Oh, we missed that one. We didn't hear you.
Yes, I think it's network.
Oh, at exactly when we needed his advice.
Yes.
Well, what we can say is that the Imam in Abuja has spoken and has been sacked, and he has been given another job behind the Central Bank of Nigeria building in Abuja. We understand is a better, more elevated mosque, so we shall be hearing more of him. That the Geo Adeboye, the General Overseer of RCCG, has spoken and has raised some spiritual and physical questions concerning the continuous banditry and terrorism in Nigeria. And we want Nigerians to have informed opinion. We at News Echoes will be bringing the latest to you. You don't have to agree with our analysis, but we will get you informed so that before you take that decision, come February, March 2023, you will be taking a quality decision. I want to thank my colleagues first in Abuja, Dr. Sita Niemeka, my colleague in the city of London, Ambassador Nathaniel Iyakwo, and my colleague in Milan, Mark Godwin, and to thank all the crew members in Italy, and of course our two televisions in France and Italy for showing us. We want to say thank you very much to all our viewers and listeners. We'll come back your way in 7 days' time. My name is Sheikh Johnson. God bless you all.